Hello, everybody. It is Lisa from It's Not That Hard to Homeschool and True North Online Academy. And today on the podcast, we are going to dive into the world of education, particularly education in the online space. Today, we're exploring a topic that's transforming how educators use technology in online classrooms and beyond, the SAMR model. Now, if you're an educator or a homeschooler or just curious about how tech can enhance learning, this is absolutely for you. By the end of this podcast, you're not only going to know what the SAMR model is, but you'll understand how it can help transform simple tech usage into truly innovative educational experiences. So, you ready to go? Let's jump into this fascinating topic. So, what is the SAMR model? Well, let's break that down. The SAMR model was developed by Dr. Ruben Puentedura, and the SAMR model is a framework that helps educators think about the different ways technology can be integrated into teaching and learning. And the SAMR model, SAMR, stands for Substitution, Augmentation, Modification, and Redefinition. The SAMR model guides teachers in leveraging tech tools effectively and aims to move beyond just digital worksheets to foster meaningful, interactive learning experiences. And each level represents a different way technology can impact the classroom. So let's walk through each one. Level one is called substitution. And at this level, technology acts as a direct substitute for traditional tools. So imagine using a digital document to replace a paper worksheet. No functional change is a simple swap, just like a PDF version of a textbook instead of a physical copy. Now, is this helpful? Well, yeah. I mean, 2020, we saved the day in education by doing some of that swapping. And here's the deal, like it worked, but a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth about online education because of most educators in 2020 just use substitution. And no shame on them. I mean, they were just like thrown into a situation they were making the best of. But the real magic of the SAMR model is when we move past this stage and start adding new functionalities with technology. The second stage of the SAMR model is called augmentation. And here is where things start getting really interesting because in augmentation, technology still substitutes a traditional tool, but with added functionality. So imagine a student using a Google Doc to write an essay. Now they can use built-in tools like spelling and grammar check. Who doesn't love that? They can use the comment features and they have the ability to collaborate in real time with people around the world. So substitution, it's a great place to start. Augmentation takes it to the next level. But the next two levels, modification and redefinition, are called transformational levels. The first two levels, substitution and augmentation, are what we call enhancement stages. So we're taking what we would already have used and just enhancing it. It's great, but it doesn't fundamentally change how students engage with the material. And that's where modification and redefinition comes in. These levels are known as the transformative stages because they are enable completely new types of learning activities that weren't even possible before. So let's jump into this. Modification. Modification is where technology starts changing the task itself. So instead of just writing an essay, students can write a blog post. They can collaborate with peers worldwide. They can add multimedia elements like images, videos, sound clips. This approach shifts learning from a static process to a very dynamic, interactive experience. Redefinition ups it even further. So redefinition in the SAMR model might be everybody's ultimate goal. What we have found at True North Online Academy is that using a combination of the SAM and R parts of this model really make for a robust online learning experience. But at the redefinition level, technology enables learning experiences that you could not even imagine without it. So imagine a class virtually collaborating with scientists to create a project on climate change, to gather real-time data, or to present their findings in a multimedia format. This level unlocks creativity and critical thinking at a whole new level and allows students to connect with real-world audiences and global experts. It's important to note that not every lesson or tool has to reach the redefinition level to be effective. The SAMR model is really more of a map than a mandate. Educators that use it to ensure that technology isn't just an add-on, but a tool to enhance, extend, and enrich learning. Now, if you have been in an online learning environment where it is just a substitution kind of situation, or it's just total tech, like some of the asynchronous programs where your kid just logs in and they watch a video or they watch an animated version or whatever, you're using tech. So you're probably at the augmentation level, but you're not at the modification and you're not at the redefinition level. And usually these levels take a lot of time and intention. One of the things we do at True North Online Academy is we really try to integrate all these different levels of learning in our classroom. So for instance, students might do a digital escape room as a final or a quiz. They might do a web challenge or web search. Our German class actually collaborates with a class in Germany who is learning English, and those students connect on the regular. Our ESL program has a deaf interpreter come and talk to the students from around the world. So we are really working to utilize all these levels of the SAMR model in our classes at True North Online Academy. So why is the SAMR model so important to online education? What does it matter, especially when online education is so available to us now, especially since 2020, because during 2020, everybody realized they could go online and potentially make a lot of money. So why do you as a parent or as an educator need to think about the SAMR model? Well, the SAMR model helps online educators avoid what could be known as the technology trap, where we use tech just because it's there. And that's what I find with a lot of online programs. You might be a working parent who needs a really low cost solution to your kids' learning. So you buy a program that is asynchronous and they sit in front of a computer all day long. It's a tech trap, in my opinion. Does it deliver skills? Does it deliver actually adequate education? That's something to really think through. And the SAMR model encourages educators to really think critically about how they're using tech to support meaningful learning, because that's what good educators do. They're always looking for ways to really ensure that the students are getting the lesson, right? That they're actually growing in skills and abilities. That's what a good educator does. A computer doesn't do that. A computer is great at tasks, but it's not great at projects. And listen, educating a person is a project. It's not a series of tasks. So a person is going to be your best bet for a solution to education in your life. Um, so, so again, why does the SAMR model, why is it important in online education? Again, so you don't fall into the tech trap. And this can really help you as you're educating your own kids, or if you're an educator educating others, or if you're a parent looking for a really meaningful, engaging program, it can help you understand how to improve engagement interaction with your kids. In a digital environment, tools that allow for collaboration, discussion, and hands-on learning boost student engagement. And by using the SAMR model as a guide, teachers can move from really basic online assignments to interactive projects like video discussions or multimedia presentations. It can also help your kids build real skills for the real world. The redefinition stage especially mirrors the digital skills students are going to need in college and in the workplace. From online research to virtual collaboration, students are not only learning the content, but also the tech skills to succeed outside of the classroom. And then also, it can support different learning styles. So the SAMR offers a flexible framework that lets educators meet diverse learning needs. We get this question all the time at True North Online Academy. My student has a learning disability, or they have this area of giftedness, or they're a doubly gifted student. How do you handle all that in an online program? Well, the SAMR model allows us to meet various needs at the same time. And at higher levels, students can represent their learning in varied formats through videos, podcasts, interactive simulations, et cetera, et cetera. So how can educators get started with the SAMR model? Well, if you're going to implement the SAMR model, start with a small shift. Or if you're a parent looking for how you can integrate the SAMR model into your students' learning, start with a small shift. So instead of possibly aiming for redefinition right away, think about moving an activity from substitution to augmentation, for example. So if the students usually take notes on a word processor, Encourage them to use a tool like Google Docs so that they can collaborate with classmates or have their teacher edit right on the document. A good starting question for educators is, how can this tool make my students' learning deeper or more engaging? It's a really simple but powerful question that can help guide the level of SAMR you're aiming for. Now, there's so much tech available to us right now. I mean, it's just everywhere. And there's so many tools, so many games, so much AI, just it can be a little overwhelming. And parents and educators, I would encourage you, you don't have to do it all. Just take one or two tools to start with and see if they really do make a difference. So the SAMR model reminds us that technology should be a means, not an end in education. It's really about empowering students to do things that they couldn't do before, making learning more engaging, relevant, and impactful. So whether you're a veteran in online education or just getting started, or if you're a parent looking at how online education can change or augment or help what you're doing with your kids right now, use the SAMR model as a lens through which to view your digital tools and teaching strategies, as well as the online programs that you partner with. You might be surprised at how much just a really small shift can transform learning. So I just want to thank you for being part of this podcast. If it was helpful to you, please share it with fellow educators or parents interested in online learning, and hit like, subscribe, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have any comments about this podcast, please put them below. We answer every single one. And I'd be interested in how you as parents are even thinking about choosing online helps and tools for your students. Just because it's available doesn't mean that it's going to be a useful tool for you to integrate into the learning environment for your student. One of the things that we say at True North Online Academy all the time is that we use time-tested educational pedagogy coupled with cutting-edge tools. And what that means is that we're taking solid educational methodology of teaching that's been time tested, because there's just certain things that your kids need to know. There's certain skills that they must have to be really truly educated people. And some of those things can be taught very simply, but then we're using cutting edge tech to integrate and help your kids be sure that they're ready for the global gig economy in which they're going to work and live. So we'd love to hear how you're doing that integration in your own homeschool or with the private education that you're choosing, or even in the public school. How is the public school that you might be part of using the SAMR model or integrating educational tools that your kids need with technology? Until next time, keep experimenting, growing, and most of all, keep making learning an adventure. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.